Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another review slash tutorial on, let's see, we're on Cliff this time. I'm in the WZ-131G-FT, which is a Chinese tank destroyer. It's a tier 6, so we've got ourselves a tier 8 battle. A little bit of analysis on the Cliff map. There are a few key points that a lot of tanks will go, including, but not limited to, some TDs will sit down here. Usually there will be a heavy here trying to clear this area out. This area is usually of high contention because that has a lot of say whether you can get shots into this area on either side of this hill here. So you can kind of defend or you can attack from the enemy's perspective. And then obviously, usually at the beginning of the match, they'll try to get up on the hill. Sometimes they can flank all the way around, so you kind of want to be able to defend that. So, judging by the teams, see, we have an M449, which is a very strong tier 8 tank, in my opinion. It's got really good frontal armor. We got a couple, let's see, 4 other heavy tanks, 2 tier 7s, 2 tier 6s. All of them are fairly strong. The enemy team has a KV-4, which has really strong armor, T-69, the autoloader, the new light, the T-92, BP, and looks like a few tier 6 heavy tanks. So initially, I'm going to assume that T-92 or T-37 or somebody that's fast enough is going to try to get up on the hill on their side, and they're going to probably try to come in here and get up there. So what I've found is when I'm in a tank destroyer, if I try to get up on this hill right here, then I can basically get shots into here, try to defend this side as well as this simultaneously, all from this one spot. It's similar to the way TDs will get up here on the north side, which this is a lot better spot in my opinion than this one. This one has some cover to it. It's got some bushes and things like that, whereas this one doesn't. So we're going to head there and kind of see how things develop. So let's get this thing playing. There's always somebody that's got to run into you at the beginning. It's amazing how that can never be figured out. This T150 is nice enough to not run into me. That's a nice thing. So it looks like the majority of our heavies are going down the 1-2 line, which I don't entirely agree with. And then looks like our Batchat 12 ton is going to the center. I think he's going to try to get up on the hill. The Cromwell and the 64 were able to get into the 3 line in the middle, which is a really good position to be in. So let's free up the camera real quick and we'll take a look. I think one of them takes a pretty heavy hit at the beginning. Yep, the Hellcat's trying to get up there, so I think our T-150 and a couple others are aiming to try and prevent him. And our SU-122 ends that attempt. So we'll go back to the view from the replay here. So you can see the T-92 is pushing on this Type 64. And for some reason, RNG was just not in my favor. I could not get any shots to hit this guy. I think it was 2, maybe even 3 shots I ended up taking. The 64 stupidly doesn't even stay on this side to try to get any defense. He runs around, try to push into the 2 tanks that are hitting him. So right now we're trying to get some shots on this Panther, at least the T-37. You can see the KV-4 pushed in on the west side, which is a strong play for him because it keeps, let's pause it for a second, it keeps any tanks that we would have in here or on this curve from being able to get shots up here, and it also enables any tanks that are up here to be able to shoot down into these guys or anybody that managed to get in the back. The problem that I'm seeing at this point is there's a lot of tanks coming around this bend, and all we have is the 2 on the hill and this Leo who's spotting out here on this hill. I'm kind of trying to find a good position to get some help in here. The only thing I really have to shoot at this point is the T-37 and maybe the Panther if he pops up. I'm hoping that T-92 will come around the corner. either way, you can see my my blue ring here. That's as far as I can spot. So even if he did pop up here, it would be highly unlikely that I would even spot him unless he came clear around here, which is unlikely at this point. So I see the 37 still pops up. We got our tank hull down here. We're gonna see if we can get some shots into him. So we get a shot in there, and the SC-122 helps out. We get him cleared out. So now you can kind of see we've got what I would call a triple threat going here. This medium and the light have come around this corner, and they're going to try to put shots in here to try to clear these guys out. So we want to try to get these guys managed so that these guys, the T-150 and the IS here, don't have crossfire, flanking fire coming in. And we also want to keep an eye on this Panther. But at the same time, this east side is starting to push around. So we're kind of turning, trying to find shots on something. And I think, yeah, that shot was a little late. No help from RNG either. We get spotted by this Panther, and the first shot we take takes out our gun. Or damages our gun, excuse me. But either way, it's still no fun. So I'm trying to get back up this hill, and because I don't want to have to go all the way around again, because I'm afraid if I do, then I may get shot trying to get back up here. So this spot is not easy to recover from, and keep in mind with this WZ that I'm driving, the only thing that I have upgraded on it, I believe, is the gun. I think everything else is stock, so it doesn't have a lot of engine power, so on and so forth. It just does not want to climb or do anything quickly, so we're going to try to help this Leo out because he's spotting this corner, and we want to be able to still have eyes out here. So you can see the light issue here got handled. I believe, let's see, the STRV was last spotted here, so he came back around and went over here from this area after the T-92 died. So he may be coming around this east side also. It's something we got to watch for. So the KV-13 sticks his head up, and we'll take a piece of that action. So we take him out. Go for a reload, and I also don't have 6th Sense on this tank. It's a brand new crew when I started grinding this line, so let's see. Got a couple, the two mediums are trying to push over in the center. I really want to keep this Leo alive, but as long as we got shots. Bounce on the side of the Panther, I'm not sure how, but RNG, RNG, take it away. So it looks like our AMX M449 is doing alright, holding up that west side with the ONI, and he's got a couple of tanks for backup. I'm trying to get back up on this hill, but the physics in World of Tanks will sometimes make it as difficult as possible. So this Panther's poking, I want to be able to get shots in there. And we get the side here. And he pulls up behind a rock. I think you'll be able to see that here in a second. Yeah, you can see our blips out there, so all we got is the back end. So we're getting decent shots in, trying to keep that Panther at bay from those heavies. The IS is pinging us for help. Yes, we know. We're working on it, IS. And you can see the mediums and the TD just got spotted out here. So the two mediums are starting to push around. This 25 AT, he was up here before. He's come around here. He's going to put some pressure on this Leo. Hopefully these heavies are able to help out here, and then we can help out in the middle. While they got it fairly limited down here, these two heavies are fighting against this KV-4. I'm not sure if the SU-122 is still here or if he backed around. So we'll have to keep an eye on that also. You can see the IS does put a shot into the 25 AT, which is good. Except the Easy 8 hits him and kills him. The Leo destroys the STRV. Let's see if we can take out this AT. We do. So we got the 69. The Panther is starting to come around. I'm hoping for shots, but I don't think that's going to happen. The Panther drives right across the field and pays for it. So at this point, I've only got 1,000 damage, and with this tank at tier 6, I find it's really hard to, I mean, as it is, I find it really hard to rack up the damage, unless, especially on a map like this, unless you can find a good spot where everything's driving into. So this Easy 8 sitting out in the open, we're going to take a shot here. That one lands. So while we're doing this, we're keeping an eye on that AMX and the ONE, trying to give them any help we can from here. SU-122 hits that SU. So let's take a look here. So you can see over here that KV-4 is almost full health. Then again, so is our AMX. The ONE is down a little bit. E25 is still full health. So we're hoping this SU will come out from his hiding spot. The 69's laying into our SU. So now you can see that all that's left on this side is the Easy 8 and the 69. I don't want to overcommit, but I also don't want to give up this position, because if I give up this position, they'll be able to come down to this ridge right here and get shots into the back of our guys. So I want to be able to keep them back so that these guys can work on that KV-4. And the HT still has not been spotted, so I'm not sure where he's at. Oh, there he is, and there he's spotted. So the E25 goes around to help with this KV-4, and here's the Easy 8. We want to make sure we get at least one shot to count. He starts whittling down, kills our loader. I waited till I was backed off of the hill to repair the loader, because sometimes you'll heal the loader and then they'll immediately kill him right again, so I don't want to wait for that. So now we get into a bit of a pinch. I'm waiting for that T69 to come over here, come around to the backside. Although I'm fairly well hidden. About the only way he's going to get shots on me is if he goes all the way down this hill right here, or if he comes around to this side. So I want to kind of stay on this backside so I'm safe from all of this out here. I'm not sure what this Easy 8 is trying to do. I thought at first he was trying to get up the hill, maybe come over the top on me, and they finally get the HT killed off and the KV-4 killed off. So he pops around, hits me once. I can't get the gun down. I need to move a little bit further down the hill. And this is one interesting point. He just popped out here and popped a shot into me. Granted, I'm only at 68 health. But if you were this player right here, this tanker, the last thing I would be doing is popping out for a TD that's pointing my direction last I knew and sitting still. If he had gone around, he may have been able to spot for me. It depends on where the T69's at. But he pops out again, and we finish him off. So now I'm going to see if I can get some eyes on this T69, at least get a location, but he pops up over by the heavies. So right now we're sitting at 1,700 damage, which is a fair result, considering we only had 1,000 earlier. And they end up finishing off the T69. So all in all, I think it was a fair game. We ended up with 4 kills, 1,700 damage, and you can kind of see here with the mod that I'm running that equivalates to about 4,000 WN8. I'm not sure how accurate that is. But we did get 9 hits in, which I think is good. We had a few there early on that didn't want to hit, but sometimes, you know, RNG works for you, sometimes it doesn't. But we were able to keep this flank defended, so they couldn't get into the backside of these guys that were fighting the heavies, and that was one of the important things, as well as trying to whittle down and keep anything that was running across here, keep them out of the equation and get them knocked out. So while it wasn't an excellent result, I would say that it was pretty good. We assisted the team. our heavies did a really good job down here. I'm kind of surprised that we won this one because usually when you have heavies sitting down here, the enemy team will push over the center, or they'll come around this way, or even come around this corner, and then they'll spot your team that's sitting on this side from right here. So it worked out in our favor, but we were able to hold that side off, and I think it worked well. So I think that'll wrap up this review on Cliff. So if you have any comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to share, like, and hit that subscribe button so we can get you into some future content. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.